Alright, I'm coming back again. Hello YouTube, I'm coming back. This piece right here is a piece I'm doing to update the YouTube video log on the county police. This is a statement from the police chief where he had a whistleblower from within his agency sounding the alarm over allegations of racism and misconduct within the department, favoritism, and so forth. I'll go ahead. It was on Channel 4 News and so forth. I'll go ahead and read the statement very quickly, and I'll hopefully dissect it by reading between the lines and bringing some aspects of it to the viewer's attention. I'm going to read this statement very quickly, word for word. The Prince George's County Police Department is disappointed we have to dignify an anonymous letter filled with so much misinformation. I welcome the opportunity to meet personally with the author and present him with facts. As the letter stands, it includes a loose assembly of speculation, exaggerations, and outright misinformation. The author undoubtedly is aware of the due processes afforded to Maryland's police officers under the Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights. Without exception, our agency adheres to state and county personnel laws. The public disclosure of disciplinary actions is prohibited. Nonetheless, my administration's internal disciplinary record is fair and consistent. I hold my police officers accountable. I've hired an independent inspector general with a Department of Justice background to ensure our words are matched by our actions. My commitment to serve our community includes a promise to lead its police department with a firm and steady hand. I remain dedicated to that promise and to the hard-working men and women of the PGPD. And this is our Chief of Police, as always, Mr. Mark McGar, Mr. Chief of Police Mark McGar. All right, let's go ahead and dissect this statement. Do I think the Chief wrote it more or less? He might have wrote it, but I think more or less the lawyers typed this type of stuff up. All right, so getting to work. Misinformation, that's the very first sentence. They say they have to dignify misinformation. Misinformation, exaggeration, speculation, and so forth. Well, the news story piece, they had the sergeant that was circulating a racist email with the African American being beat up. It's true. He was disciplined internally for that. He was demoted and he lost part of his pension. That's a fact. Can't deny it. Then you had the instance where you had the police lieutenant, like an undercover guy or whatever. He was stealing license plates from one vehicle and placing it on another vehicle. That's a fact. He was disciplined over it. Now, look at this for a second. If I steal a license plate and put it on another vehicle, they'll haul us off to jail down in Hyattsville. But the police, though, these are the anointed ones. So they get internal discipline. They get whatever is the case. You know, they go before internal disciplinary board. I want to address the Law Enforcement Officer Bill of Rights. This seems to be a statute or whatsoever that seems very convenient for the police to brush their embarrassments underneath the rug. You know, everything that oftentimes when police have to be disciplined, what they've done causes an embarrassment to the police department. So this is like a double-edged sword that benefits them. So much for our transparency, you know. And to note, many other states have completely transparent access to police discipline records. Prime example, Florida. They have open access to the courts, to public meetings, to police discipline records, all this stuff, and they function just fine. Why can't that same type of transparency work in Maryland? It also, we have all this secrecy in Maryland, Prince George's County, whatever is the case, but why are our elected officials always going to prison or to jail? Look at Jack Johnson. He's in federal prison for like 7 years. His wife just got released. She got released and she held her nose up high when the reporter wanted to ask her a few questions. Sheer arrogance. Moving right along. He goes on to talk about Inspector General. You know, Mr. Acosta. This is the Inspector General. My question would be, what is his true purpose in the department? Question. I can't remember one report that's been released to the public where he's found fraud, waste, or abuse within the department that he's released, saying, hey, this is what I've done. So what are we paying this guy for? I mean, that's with all due respect. That's a legitimate question, you know. He's a former Department of Justice official. Could his true purpose be in the department to stave off a possible Department of Justice investigation? Because remember, back in, 2000 or 2001, the police department was under consent decree over the police canine biting people. So hopefully there can be more transparency on that. You know, people ask me, you know, are you going to do more with the MPIAs? And, you know, I was like, these people don't want to talk about this stuff, you know. They don't want to talk. But also, I do need to know, in the department, you know, he's hired the Inspector General, but he's also got a media relations person from the, she's a former news broadcaster, Miss Parker. You know, maybe the Inspector General's there to manipulate the legal aspect of everything. Then Miss Parker's there to manipulate the public relations aspect of it. You know, she's a former insider. You know, both these people are former insiders. You know, she's a former insider with the news media. So is she trying to manipulate the media so they only report on certain stories? I mean, this is critical thinking. You know, this is the type of stuff the type of thinking that develops from math. You know, I didn't do so good at math, but I did take it. You know, trigonometry, algebra, calculus. I struggled through it. I admit, struggled through all those math, but I did eventually figure it out. Well, like a C. Let me keep going. Now, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about me staying after and trying to study math, but after school and study math. But back to the subject at hand, though. You know, these are all very important public policy issues. You know, do I think the people that run the police department, are they evil people? You know, are they just out to just be evildoers? You know, on certain levels as a human being, they want to see things get better. Absolutely. Everybody wants to see that. But it's always just a disagreement over public policy, you know, whether it be crime or whether it be crimes that you arrest people for, or sentences when people are convicted of crimes. You know, it's just a public policy dispute. We're all human beings. You know, we all inhabit this earth. You know, so it's all about being peaceful with your fellow man, but also holding their feet to the fire. You know, because these are public officials, and their feet do need to be held to the fire. You know, and I'm proud that I can be the one to try to do that just a little bit from time to time. And that's not a cheap shot at the other chief that said that. That's not a cheap shot. But yeah, so I'm going to keep going on with the article. He says, my commitment to serve our community includes a promise to lead his police department with a firm and steady hand. He remains committed to his employees. But, you know, I would hope things keep getting better, you know, for the county, you know, far as crime, far as public relations, you know, with the police department, community outreach. But now, I will note, most of the community outreach is geared towards children and the elderly. And most of the people they arrest are young people, whether they be, you know, 20s or teens or whatever. These are the people that are locking up in mass, you know. Recently, you know, they'll hold these community events for the old and young people, but recently they called a whole bunch of, I guess, ex-offenders or convicted inmates, or not inmates, but former inmates or whatever, down to the police headquarters, I guess, to give them a talking to. Like, basically, wag their finger, we're watching you, you know. But this is the numbers hold true. Convicted of a crime, you're black, you're likely to rescind back into crime again. You're not likely to get a job. Just that simple. You know, failed policies, in my opinion. All right, feel free to add your 2 cents. All right, go ahead and cut off.